Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and today we're putting together this $1,200 gaming PC sponsored by Microcenter.
You've seen a lot of $1,200 PCs recently, and it's because our sponsor Microcenter has been hooking us up with a ton of 3060s to give away in these gaming PC builds, which we're actually streaming live over on twitch.tv/ToastyBros right now. Everyone in Twitch chat, say hi. We do these monthly PC giveaways over on our Twitch stream. This one's gonna be already given away by the time the video goes live, but if you follow over on Twitch, you have a chance to win another PC next month. But Microcenter, awesome place to go in person to buy PC hardware. We love to go shop at Microcenter. They have graphics cards in stock most of the time in their stores, so if you've been struggling to get a new GPU, definitely check out Microcenter.
And also, if you stop in person, you can get some free Bluetooth earbuds. Maybe.
Or not.
Or
you
not.
never know.
We don't know.
We'll talk about each part and how it makes up this PC build.
So for the CPU, we decided to go a little bit higher in this time. We have the Intel i7-10700. This is the non-K and it's the non-F, so this does actually have integrated graphics. It does come with a stock cooler, but it's probably going to be kind of the ugly cooler, so we have a nice black one over there that we'll be using. It's really not much nicer in terms of cooling, it just looks a lot better. We really recommend getting an aftermarket cooler, but we forgot to ask Microcenter for one, or they forgot to send one, we don't really know. So here we are. But this is 8 cores and 16 threads. It's a really awesome CPU. And with 11th gen being out, they're coming down in price, but these are really not worse than 11th gen. They're pretty much on par. So for the motherboard, we have the Asus Prime B460M. We usually always go with M motherboards because they're the cheapest. For some reason, Micro ATX is just always cheap. It'll fit inside of this nice case that we have here. Yeah, it's just the cheapest.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I was gonna try to go into more detail. I'm like, nah, this is the cheapest. Now for RAM, this is like the Microcenter special. We get this like every time because it is just so good. It's Crucial Ballistics RGB RAM, 16 gigs, 3200 megahertz. It's dual channel. It's everything you could ever want. And it's Intel, so we don't need super fast RAM. Now for RAM, we have a 1 terabyte NVMe M.2 SSD. This is Inland Platinum, which you can actually get on Amazon or at Microcenter. They even sell it on some other websites, so Microcenter has branched out, and sometimes they're really cheap. There's been times where I've seen these 1 terabytes for like $94.99, and that's a really good price.
Now for the graphics card, we have an Aorus RTX 3060, 3-fan design. We actually has some RGB fans. I don't know what they're doing in the background, by the way. They just always...
I was so funny.
But anyways, 3 fans, beautiful card. It's gonna have a nice RGB, and the 3060 is an awesome card when you can actually get your hands on it. You can play pretty much any game we throw out at 1080p and stretch into 1440p if you want to. And big thanks again to Microcenter for sending us a brand new 3060 to give away. Now for the power supply. Of course, we have to use the in-house brand. This is the PowerSpec 650 watt semi-modular power supply. 650 watts is more than enough for a PC build like this. You could easily get away with a 500 watt if you really wanted to. A lot of these PC components are very efficient, but using a semi-modular power supply allows for some clean cable management, getting rid of cables we don't need, and also PowerSpec is a pretty reliable brand from the builds we've done here. And for the case, this is probably the most expensive case we've actually used for a Microcenter giveaway PC, I believe. This is the Corsair 280X, which is a Micro ATX case that is, well, a cube case. I used to really like cube cases back in the day, never actually got one for my own build, but this dual chamber design allows you to separate the, power supply from the motherboard and stuff for better airflow. Most of the time, you're really not gonna notice a huge difference either way, but it is a cool design. It has some nice RGB fans up front, a lot of glass all the way around, and it's just overall a very unique case. So very excited building this thing, see how it performs. Let's not waste any more time and get right into it.
ladies and gentlemen, now that we have this Microcenter gaming PC all booted up and ready to go, let's talk about a few benchmarks real quick. Now, because we've done this configuration numerous times on the channel, and we're mainly making this video because, well, we want the opportunity to give away a PC to you guys, we only tested this PC in 3 titles, those being Call of Duty Cold War, Fortnite, and Borderlands 3. And we actually tested 2 of those games, Call of Duty Cold War and Borderlands 3, at 1440p, while Fortnite is at 1080p to try to test the i7-10700 a little bit more. But first up, in Call of Duty Cold War, on pretty much max settings at 1440p, we averaged 90 plus FPS. The RTX 3060 is a great card for 1440p gaming. It's not going to be great for maxing out every single game at 1440p high refresh rate, but with some optimized settings here and there, or taking advantage of NVIDIA's DLSS technology, you can easily get 144 FPS at 1440p with modified settings in games like Cold War, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, Valorant, all the main shooters out there, and a bunch of other games on the market. I am wondering though, if you guys are into racing games and know a game that has a built-in benchmark that you would like to see us use, let us know down below. I know we do a lot of videos on shooter games, but I really want to add some other games to diversify our benchmark rotation, so let me know down below. Next up, in Fortnite on performance mode at 1080p, we averaged 300 plus FPS. The i7-10700 does not get enough respect. There is the 11th gen Intel lineup out there, but really, I recommend you go 10th gen all the time, unless you're going with like an i5-11400, because the value for money right now is way better. Yes, you could spend a little bit more and get a little bit more IPC, but the 10700 is absolutely a steal at under $300 compared to any CPU on the market, and I really would go with the CPU over the Ryzen 5 5600X in most situations, as long as you pair it with a B560 board, unlike what we did here actually. A B560 board will allow that CPU to have faster RAM, therefore giving more performance, but even with a B460 board, it is still a very capable CPU, and I'm really impressed with the results. And last but certainly not least, Borderlands 3, again at 1440p, ran the built-in benchmark and averaged around 60 FPS. Borderlands 3 is a very demanding benchmark, especially on the pretty much ultra settings at 1440p, so getting around 60 FPS is no easy feat, and I'm very happy to see that the 3060 is capable of doing so. I do really enjoy this PC because, well, it's very compact and performs very well. The only concerns I do have about it in its current configuration, which we plan on updating later, is getting an aftermarket cooler, because this case doesn't work really well with the stock cooler. There's only the 2 intake fans and no exhaust fans. We could add some exhaust fans, but it probably would just make more sense to add a custom cooler and then maybe an exhaust fan instead of a bunch of exhaust fans. So if you do end up copying this build, I highly recommend getting an aftermarket cooler. We really wanted to get one. For some reason, it just didn't happen. So link down below if you want to pick one up for yourself. But overall, very happy with this build for the money. Very happy that Microcenter was able to help us out and give away this PC to one of you. Be sure to follow us over on Twitch so you don't miss the next giveaway. How about we bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
Alright guys, so we just got done with benchmarking this PC, and as you probably guessed, it plays pretty much any game you throw at it really well.
We've done a lot of 3060 builds for these giveaways, so I do understand that the benchmarks are pretty similar, but this build we were able to do was actually really nice looking. I was really happy to build in the 280X from Corsair, and yeah, I was very happy to be able to give this thing away. So if you guys want to enter future PC giveaways, because once again, this PC is already given away. It's ready to be shipped out to our good friend Gerard, actually. Lucky to him, he won the PC. Follow our Twitch stream and join our Discord. That's the best way to get notified for the next stream. But just looking at my calendar, you know what? I'm gonna pull out my phone real quick just so you guys know. What's the calendar? What's the date?
I'm gonna take a guess and say it's the 10th.
It is going to be August 13th. So August 13th is potentially, well, unless something happens, that is gonna be the next stream. So be ready for that. Enter for a chance to win. And yeah, thanks again to Microcenter for making this build possible.
Now, one thing that I'm sure we're gonna see 1,000 comments about is a i7 with a stock cooler. We don't recommend that. We didn't want to do that. We just think we either forgot to ask for a better cooler or Microcenter forgot to send it. Either way, it's fine. PC works well. Gerard can upgrade this easily himself. But yeah, we don't recommend using a stock cooler with an i7 or an i5 really for that matter.
There will be links down below to Microcenter to buy all the parts for this PC. We'll also try to include a cooler link as well on other websites so you can pick one up, because again, is an i7 is recommended. It's not the end of the world that it's using a stock cooler, but it would be better if you did and maybe add a couple more fans in this thing. So yeah, room for improvement. But yeah, links down below, affiliate links, they do help us out.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
And hey, aside from this build on the stream, we also built a PC live for PCBros.tech, so make sure you check out their website for some awesome pre-builds.
You can buy PCs from us, so if you ever were wondering, hey, how can I get those awesome PCs they build? PCBros.tech, take a look at it, purchase from us, support us. See you guys later, goodbye.
Peace out. Peace out, bitches.
Peace out, bitches.